Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us at Ruby Cavalier's Dugout. I'm Becca. We have been working sporadically on, I feel like the girl from Clueless, using sporadically in a sentence. Working sporadically on making Cora a sweater for winter. She's not quite getting her adult fur in fast enough for the Wisconsin cold temperatures, so we've been making some progress. Um, we'll get that pulled up here in a minute. So, good morning. We are here in the dugout. So let me take my nail file away from her. She decided to take, yeah, my nail buffer, not a toy, sweetie. Love you. Mm. All right. So what we did was we measured around her head so we could get the length and stuff of the neck part of our sweater. We got all the way down to here last time we checked in, and I found out I didn't measure the full chest long enough to get the armholes in the right spot. Now, as I said in a previous live, you want to make sure you're measuring from the base of the neck all the way down to the lower armpit, because if you just measure to the shoulders, it's going to be a lot of a stretch for them to bend their high legs up there. Also, this pattern always makes the armholes longer this way. So I think if we do something like this again, we're going to make the armholes a little bit differently. A lot of dogs bend their arms forward, not side to side. So having the holes horizontal like this aren't the easiest to get in. I don't know if you've ever dressed your dog in type of homemade sweaters like this. It's very hard to angle it in just right. Cora, what you doing? Let me switch chairs so she can hop up in the chair next to us, because she loves sitting up in the chair. Yeah. Now that I vacated your chair, are you gonna come over here? No, not on the bed. Come on the chair. Folks want to see you. Yeah. Come in. Come on, Cora Beans. There we go. All right. So, Cora Beans. There we are. She's all ready to be trying on the sweaters. She doesn't like the part about it going over her head, but that's where some good training and some treats are going to help encourage that. So, always small steps. We did finally get our armholes in, as you can see. I did even add a little bit more allowance to them to get it a little bit easier to get in and off. This is where a nice willing dog that's willing to try on your outfit as you progress allows you to manipulate the pattern and kind of wing it. Crocheting is so easy and fun that way, to wing it to what you need. Then we cast our chained the 12 to get the other side of the gap when we got there. And then once we kept going in that full circle, I got about 4.5 to 5 inches here, just enough to get her rib cage fully covered. As I did say in an earlier video, as a female dog, you can go as long as you want for the stomach to get that full coverage, but males, I would keep it shorter. If your dog has a big spray when they go to the bathroom, you don't want their clothes getting dirty all the time. So usually the underbelly you'll want to get a little bit shorter and just make that back section a little bit longer. So we got just past her rib cage. I started doing a new twist to the back of the pattern. So to get where the back panel is going to start, because you can see it's now flat at this end. So what I did is I took the back far edge of the armhole, followed it up, moved my stitch marker up there, and that's where I stopped working. And I just worked that spot along the back to where the armhole, using those as my guides for that back panel. She has a very long body and she's still growing, so we're probably going to make this next section about another 5 to 7 inches more before we kind of cast off and finish it. But what you'll see is I still did single crochets up to this point, and then I started doing a double crochet. Let me see if I can find a picture to send you guys. So when double crocheting or just doing basic crochet, you're going through those top loops of a stitch. In this case, I'm doing 3 like that, and then the next 2 posts I'm grabbing those and double crocheting those. So it gives it a little bit of a, hold it up to the camera, gives it those two posts of a bubble out effect. So it has a wave to it. And as I go to the next row, I'm going to experiment how I can get that ridge to branch out a little bit more, whether it's adding stitches or just doubling up somewhere to give it a more skirty vibe. We're going to see how that progresses. But like I said, the great thing about crocheting is if you don't like it, you can rip it out and start all over, see what works best for what you want. But I'm going to try to see if those ridges give it a more frillier finish to it. As you can see, I did end up folding over the cuff of the collar because the collar is kind of plain, not got a finished edge. You can always come back and either grab a different color or even the purple and do scallops or some type of edge finishing to give it a more polished look up there as well. But right now, I'm worried about getting the length of the body. It's always cool to come back and add embellishments afterward. Like you can do pearls or any type of accent sewn on there you want. It's right now, the whole purpose of this was I had extra art yarn and a cold dog. So problem solved. We just improvise. So once I get a few more inches on this, you'll be able to see it and we'll kind of play around with how that may flow outward. The idea currently, if I keep going and don't add any more stitches, it'll just look like ribs coming down the back. So eventually I do want to do increases to make it wider and fan out a little bit more, but that's going to be a little bit more mathematical of finding out where the best spot to do those increases are. So it doesn't look like a bulge in the wrong spot versus maybe kind of like how we did with the rib cage, a bowing out effect in the wrong spot. So that's where the experimental part on my end is going to be what's going to work best and look the best for this type of garment. I'm thinking the best bet is going to be adding it to the ends, but we'll see. Well, this is only the first row of trying those ridges. I don't know if I want to do 2 rows like that before I start fanning it out, but we'll try it that way and go from there. So yeah, so back to the fun transition card. For those who again are new to crafting, I do have those pictures that we showed earlier. Once I finish to rotate them back the right way, the pictures of what we mean by single crochet, of how to do that. I didn't pull up an image yet of the double crochet and the post stitch, but that will definitely come in our next video. Like I said, our next major video is coming up on that title credit. We're going to try to do it for tomorrow, right after Disney's agility class. So for those available tomorrow afternoon, we're going to try to take this up to the man cave and go through our snuffle mat pattern and really iron out what utensils, what fabrics we all need to do a puppy dog snuffle mat. So that is going to be fun. The other thing, oh, here's the, I was playing around with all their videos and unfortunately the videos show up black on my little preview window. So when I rotated what I thought was the video, I actually rotated these sample cards that I was working for you with all these pictures. So trying to fix those now is always fun. There we go. So like this one where it shows you what counting stitches are. So you know when I say I did 2 stitches, this is how I'm counting those stitches. Those little ridges at the top is what we go into. That type of thing. So I'll leave that up there for a little bit. If you guys have any questions, of course, you know how to reach us through the comments. We also, gonna probably create a Facebook page for our group chat here shortly too. So stay tuned for that. You can always reach us off of Instagram too, because we got Cora the Cav, forgot what Big Poppy's handle is, Disney the Mulch